Muslim, Christian, Jew, Hindu, Buddhist, and atheist one too. And all in between. This is for the absolute positive, good God and truth of your lives and family. Only crossing bigger and better. I'm sitting here with my little 12-year-old K-Bug. Say hi, KK.
Hi.
And I was telling KK all the stuff about growing up and getting older and taking on more responsibilities and things like that to help him become a good man and do good things in the world. And just to let the world know, just like I tell my own children, the only way you can add up, stay, or be good as truth in this world is to be more positive than negative. And every time you're not, right, you're not bad, evil, or sinful, K-Bug. You're just negatively deficient of being more positive than that. Good as the truth of God of your life. And as you get older, right, you will see that the world around you, a lot of people don't know what to do with the negativity of them because they don't identify it as negativity. They think that it's some sort of bad, evil, sinful way, and they don't know what to do with the rut of it, the static, twisted, scattered, undefined energy of it in their lives, you see? And a lot of people, because of that, they're consumed by it and they destroy themselves or they destroy their families over it. But if you always just recognize that anything that doesn't make you feel more positive, good as the truth of God of you, right, is just negative to you, right? You can always go do something more positive than that, from the mind to the body to the world. And if you do that, K-Bug, the negativity will subtract to one, neutral, nothing, just negative of your here and now, being more positive and good. As the absolute bigger, better of you, alive and well, man. You can always believe that, little buddy. You know that? And because the world don't see it that way, K-Bug, all around the world where it's not more positive, the negative, and it's articulated by mankind, right? To only add us up good as truth. It's just the faith of blind leading blind fools. They're foolish to it because they don't have the sight to understand that this is just negative to them being more positive. You understand that, right? Now, you're a little 12-year-old guy, and I've been telling these people this, And there's a lot of religions in the world. See, I want to show you something, K-Bug. All of these faiths around the world, right, that don't understand that this bad, evil, sinful way on them is just negative of them being positive and good, they all believe in gods. And all of these gods, right, somewhere in their religions or in their beliefs says it's okay, right, for some reason to do wrong to others. But I want to show you something. They all state that we're children of God, okay? Now, I'm your daddy. If I say it's okay for you to go do something wrong to somebody else, right? Or to do something wrong to your brothers and sisters, or if I say it's okay to lock you in your room for years at a time, right? I wouldn't be a good daddy, would I? No, I'd be a horrible daddy. And because these people don't understand that when their gods crisscross them this way, they're not the children of God, they're the spawn of the devil. See, if I treated you like that, I'd be the devil to you, wouldn't I? And because of that, life as we know it, man, is really confusing for a lot of people, especially our leadership, K-Boo, the people who's supposed to be in charge of us. Because they take a guy like you, right now you're underage, so they have a lot more leniency with you through their faith, but they, at the age of 18, they stop seeing you as a child anymore, and you're always somebody's child. You're always going to be my child, your mommy's child. You're always going to be a child of God, and then they want to treat you, depending on what bad, evil, sinful way that they say you're acting, right, with prisons, jails, and they make wars, and it's the convicts of us. It's the victims and crooks of us. Now, people, through their acts, they create crimes, right? But if our leadership was more positive than their crimes, right, to show them a bigger, better way, and why they need to value life being more positive than negative, right, we would all be good for it, and that's the truth. But because our leadership doesn't know that they need to value that over all things, right, they take people and when they're in a negative way, they make them even worse for it. You hear me? And in reality, to be negative with negativity is incarnate she, he, shaft, and devil of all people, places, and things all over creation of existence to the reality check of us. And it's just wrong everywhere. See, I want to show you something. When they cage you like an animal, right? And they make you less than what is human, less than what is a child of God, through God and country of them, right? Well, in reality check, right? They're not creating anything better for anybody, including themselves, because they're only teaching destructive suicide to all God. True reality check. When they do anything besides try and articulate us more positive than negative to keep us good as truth, right? As the absolute bigger and better than all negativity, they're only articulating death to us, man, and destruction, decay, and disintegration. You understand that, don't you, KK? Mm-hmm. And anything that's in a state of negative decay and disintegration, right? The good truth of its shape, form, and mass is crossing to one nothing of it here and now for it. And like I tell people all the time, you know, no matter if it's one atom or a mountain of atoms, right? If those atoms bond more positive than anything negative about them, right? They're stated good and can't be destroyed. No matter if it's one particle or a million in a mountain of them. And it's the same with your body. If your body stays more positive than anything negative about it, it can't be destroyed. You will only keep on being good as truth. But this is why we age out, suffer out, and die out. And this is why, because they lack this positive value to always keep us good as truth, we all suffer and die out eventually, because we don't know that we can always be bigger and better than that through the good truth of our shape, form, and mass. So we're not. You understand that, right? And see, life's a miracle, right? You woke up one day and you're alive, right? And it feels good and it feels positive for the most part. But sometimes there's negative things. But if you can't identify that that's absolutely all that's going on, and those things are just negative, they're not bad, evil, or sinful, you won't always cross them things back more positive to keep your life good as truth. And as far as leadership goes, it's a reflection of your leadership. It's qualified governance, judgment, and prosecutions of people's lives and children's, right? Neglectfully, man, as your leadership, not making us only bigger and better for it. You know, whenever KK does something, I say, KK, there's consequences to your actions, right? And I say that these negative things can happen to you for this, but I don't make things more negative for those things. No, I tell you how you can always come back more positive than those negatives. And you're a good little kid. You do good, don't you, buddy? That's good. But because we don't value this, right, as the substance, durability, and solidness of all we are, to be more positive than negative, we're not. And it, like I said, wherever it's not more positive than negative, good as the truth of God of it, it's just the faith of blind leading blind fools everywhere. And all faith is negatively deficient, to only crossing more positive than negative always. See, I'm going to show you something, KK. On the inside of all atoms' creation of existence, the bonding fiber and matter of us, right, are what's called protons and neutrons. And on the outside is the electron field. Now, anything that isn't you, right, puts off its own energy. And depending on that energy, how you absorb it, more positive or more negative to your polarity, is depending on if you're more positive or more negative for it. And the protons of you is the positive, good energy of God of you, right? As the truth of your shape, form, and mass, only crossing bigger and better. And the neutrons aren't neutral, and they ain't nothing of their own charge. They're only negative of a proton, and they're the soul and the matter of you. And if you know it like I do, right, your body only craves to be more positive than negative. And when it's not, it's just negative. And without this proton always overwhelming the neutron's negativity and making it nothing by making it more positive and protonic, It's not. It's in a state of radioactive decay and disintegration. And on the outside of an atom, this neutron's always pulsating with this negative energy, not overwhelmed, more positive than negative. And it becomes like a pulsar inside of a neutron star to become a pulsar, and this matter can't sustain it. It collapses into a black hole abyss of it. You hear me? And this is what you do to your body when you don't overwhelm any negativity, only more positive. See, the only way you can do that, right, is when you feel any negativity to cross back more positive. There's no other way to overwhelm that negativity to nothing to you, okay, and to solidify your shape, form, mass good as truth. But if you don't know that, all you have is faith. And all faith crisscrosses negative with negativity, even the most positive faith, because none only teach that that's the good truth of it, to be more positive than negative. So it's a snake of energy on the matter of you and the soul of you, right? And it causes you to incarnate the he shafting devilish hells of you, because you can't be more positive than that. You don't know that's all you should be, right? And in reality, it's the decay and disintegration, it's the suffering and the aging out of you through time or extremes to the one nothing of you here and now, just infinitely negative of you here and now, a black hole abyss on your matter with the devil's hells of you forevermore, from life to death, if one too long, you hear me? And that's why it's so important, man, to know the value of doing more positive than anything negative. And again, it's the only way you can add up, stay, or be good as truth. And that good as truth is the bad, evil, sinful way of nothing. And when our leadership doesn't do it for us, KK, they're destroying all God, truth, reality check that isn't that way for them. If you plug a plug into the wall, KK, right, the positive has to overwhelm anything negative about that plug, or you could either burn your house down or you won't have enough energy to sustain your appliances. But as long as that plug, right, stays more positive than anything negative about it, there's zero chance you can burn your house down, or your appliances or your phone won't have enough energy to sustain. And it's the same with your body. See, you're half your mommy, you're half your daddy, you're half male, you're half female. Only cross more positive male than any negative female matter about you, right? If you do, you can only add up, stay, and be good as true for that. And there's zero chance you can either burn out with your life or not have enough energy to sustain your shape, form, or mass. You understand that, don't you, KK? Mm-hmm. Now, if a little 12-year-old guy can understand that, I'm pretty sure the whole world can get that eventually, hopefully. Anyways, now, you can tell a monkey or a doggy, KK, good boy, bad girl, sit, stay, lay. They'll understand basic commands like that, but they'll never understand to go do something more positive than negative always. It's the only way you can add up, stay, or be good as truth. How about you, little buddy? Mm-hmm. That's good, man. If your daddy ever teaches you anything, man, it's always to be more positive than negative, because it's the only good God and truth of anybody, of anything, only crossing as an absolute predictor of them, bigger and better, here and now, alive and well. You can't suffer out of existence, decay, disintegrate, or die that. And Jesus showed it with his life, see? He was a man who was only one more positive than all negativity. He was good. That was the truth. And when they put him on the cross, KK, right, the thief understood that, and he believed in Jesus. And Jesus didn't scream out, "Oh, God, why have you forsaken me?" He said, "Oh, God, don't forsake me. Like feet don't fail me now." You've heard that saying, right? And they stole their lives back from all that foolish negativity. It hung that negative fool out to one nothing with his faith, and all them other fools of faith that hung their lives out to one nothing of them here and now. Infinitely just negative of them here and now. The thief rode back to the tomb, right? Sent Jesus on his rightful, truthful way, alive and well. You can't kill something more positive than negative. That states it good as truth everywhere, right? And the bigger and better of it was Mary seen the thief shining more positive than anything negative about it. She asked, "Where's Jesus?" He said, "I let him out the tomb." He went that way. She kissed him and called him an angel. You hear me? And that's how that story went, you see? Because again, you can't kill something more positive than the negatives of it. It states that good is truth everywhere with everybody of everything. And just like I told other people in other videos, Caden, the state of one more positive than negative is the only light, joy, warmth, good God or truth, Holy Spirit, all of all will ever know or be. It's the only state that all of all in body of Adam matter evolved is stated good to the truth of God, their shape, form, mass, only crossing to an absolute bigger, better here and now of reality check. The state of one more positive than negative, right, is the only state all prayers are answered in, all miracles happen in, all dreams come true in, and is the only heavenly abode or paradise anybody of anywhere will ever know or be in. If the sun don't shine more positive than anything negative about the earth, no life could exist, KK. If we don't shine more positive than anything negative about our lives, we can't keep existing. And at one time, the earth used to be a true sister reflection of the good truth of God, of the Son of God, of all I am, right? At every point in time and space with pyramids all over all. With the thieving Holy Spirit out, more positive man, Adam man evolved, than a negative one I always am. And at every point, right, there was a pyramid, KK, right? There was a God King. And these God Kings, right, they lived for eons. I mean, thousands and thousands and thousands of years, right? Some of them even more than that, okay? And even though they were eventually killed, right, they knew they weren't created to die, but you can become so negative that you can die of it. But Adam of the Bible was the God and the King that built this megalithic world. And it was he shafted by a snake god devil of faith. And like I told you, whenever you take on faith instead of doing more positive, right, to the reality check of your neutrons, right, it's a snake on you because through the faith of you, right, it snakes the matter of you negatively. And the cross negative with negativity is the incarnate he shafted devil of all people, places, and things. Yeah. And this is what happened to the earth, man. You hear me? And Adam, he woke up in a garden, okay? And there's only hospitable place left on earth from what the Bible said. And other scriptures, right? And Eva was at his rib. She was at his side, right? She was over him. And she didn't know what was good as truth. And he couldn't get his bearings on reality. He just knew he was fully grown. He was a man created never to be destroyed. He was an Adam man evolved. And he was good. That was the truth. But he didn't know how to stay connected to it. And that's what's going on with the world. And just like I said, animals, right? They know when something feels good to them, right? They get happy, don't they? And they get sad, and they can identify that, but they don't have the logic or the mind, right, to only understand that the absolute of all those things is either more positive than anything negative, or it's just more negative than anything positive about them. An animal will never get that. And whenever we crisscross with faith, we don't get that because we state that things cross bad, evil, and sinful. And just like a doggy feels bad, right? Or a doggy might bite somebody and a person to face say, well, he's an evil dog, okay? Well, in reality, he's not evil. He's just negative to what is good as truth. And when people don't get that, they're only living and dying like animals. You understand that, don't you, KK? And that's the reality check of what happened to Adam because he couldn't get his bearings on reality. He didn't know to only cross back all that he was of negativity. More positive is the only way he could stay good as truth, stay connected good as truth. And for that reason, he took on the fruit of faith of Eve because she didn't know what was good as truth. And in reality, if he'd only crossed her more positive than negative, that'd been the only standard for Cain and Abel, and that'd be the only bigger, better standard, good as the truth of God of the holy earth, right, today. But because he didn't know it, right, we live and we die like animals, and we treat each other like animals through the faith of us, through the bad, evil, sinful articulation around the world. And like I said, wherever on earth, it's not more positive than negative, Caden. It's just negative of it. It's the neutral nothing. And it's the faith of blind leading blind fools everywhere. And their leadership, again, their governance, their judgment, their prosecutions of biased law is no good as truth. Jesus said there's one law to respect over all else, and it's don't lie and don't do what you hate, KK, because all things are disclosed under heaven. And I state with Jesus Christ also, love all others like the pupil, love all others like your own soul, like the pupils of your eyes, they are. You are. You see what I'm saying? If you do that, you will always be good, because as truth, that's always being more positive to people than anything negative. Now, it don't mean you won't get blindsided with negativity. We all play that fool. It just means you'll always know that that isn't a bad, evil, sinful way of you or the world around you. It's just a negative way, and you need to bring it back more positive always. Kind of like on your video game, you hear me? Or when you got to charge your phone, you hear what I'm saying? That's the reality of it. It ain't bad, evil, or sinful when your phone dies, is it? No, it's just negative of being positive. And that positive is adding it up good as true for you hear me? Same when you lose your video game, you know what I mean? But you don't let that destroy you. You only let it make you bigger and better. You learn to plug in your phone, right? And don't let it die like that. And you only learn to get better at that game. And you only do the same with your life. You never let it get so negative that you die of it. Because if you do that, you never will. Mm-hmm. Same with how you live. You see, you always do better than anything that can destroy you. You hear me? Just like on your video games. And with that, I'm going to cut this video short, but I am going to say this: where two or more atoms cross and bond, Christ-like, more positive than negative, they make the good God and truth of every shape, form, and mass you can think of, not to exclude every dimension of time and space you can think of, and every shape, form, and mass of the God of Allah, of all for everlasting peace I am, the absolute bigger, better, good God and truth of the Atomist man evolved, King Atomist of all God, truth, reality check I am, the Father, Son, and even Holy Spirit of all mankind's negativity to one, neutral nothing, I absolutely positively am. Would you agree, KK? All right, man. Peace.